One of the greatest things about Good Morning Frederick is I get to learn so much. In the last 3 weeks of doing this show, I have only interviewed about 3 people that I knew previous, which is tells you how many great things there are in our town. And this is one of them. I'm here with Joanne Baum and Douglas Jones from the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Sons of the American Revolution. Welcome to you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so there is a big event coming up. I guess very quickly, Joanne, if you can tell everyone about the group, the Daughters of the American Revolution. What is the group about?
Everyone in the group is descended from someone who either fought in the American Revolution or aided the revolution in some way. So they could have been a doctor that helped. They could have been someone who gave wagons and some horses. The service part of it varies, but everyone is descended from someone who was around during the revolution and helped the American cause.
Wow. So that means I have to do some genealogy, right?
Hmm? But we have people who could help you with that.
I love it. I love it. And Doug, the event that is coming up.
The 28th, from noon to 4 p.m. down at the amphitheater at Carroll Creek Linear Park. So it's open to the public. A great opportunity to bring your kids to learn more about history.
Yeah.
We're planning it to be kind of a tour that you can take. It'll start in the first years of our country and work all its way up to the present as you work your way through a pathway. And so it should be a lot of fun.
Oh,
So
that's really great.
The daughters and sons are getting ready to, we're gearing up for America 250, which happens in 2026. So that's the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
So there are a lot of America 250 commissions going on, national, state, and locally we were deciding, well, what can we do? What can we get going that will interest people in history, get students ready for America 250? So we're not going to wait until that July 4th. We're going to start now. So we got on this idea of a history fair where we have all kinds of actors, living history people, people who represent different time periods, museums, just history people from all over Frederick County. And we're going to focus on the history of Frederick or the history of Maryland in particular. So the signers of the Declaration and the Constitution that were from Maryland are part of our focus. But we have groups coming who are focused on many different points in our history.
it's also it's also multicultural. We have the African American Resources Cultural and Heritage Society, the Arch Society, the Asian American Center, because the American story is not solely one group of people. It covers a whole variety of diverse populations. So
Yeah, that's really great too, because, I think it, again, kind of shows the diversity of Frederick, not only today, but even, the up and coming Frederick of the early days. It's funny when you said that the 250th year is coming up soon. I was around during 1976, obviously, and I kind of had forgotten about that. So, yeah, it's really quite interesting to realize that we're going to be 250 years old, and I'm sure that you guys are planning some pretty spectacular things for that.
Well, we're going to do it one thing at a time. So we don't have any big announcements yet, but we will.
Okay, all right. So this event, what time does it go on the Sunday, the 28th?
noon to 4 p.m.
Okay, and great for all ages, from the grandparents down to the grandkids, I would imagine, to be able to kind of remember or learn what Frederick's impact or, the impact on Frederick and to Frederick from all those years ago.
And there'll be people in period costumes and things like that. So some wonderful photo ops to have an opportunity.
Yeah, that'll be excellent. What do you recommend people do if they want to learn more about history, period, but certainly about this American Revolution time and the impact on the country and the people that were a part of it, Joanne?
Well, there are a lot of America 250 websites coming up right now. There's a national one and there's a Maryland State 250 website. So those things are coming up. Um, a lot of the focus is not just on 250 years ago. We're looking at all of American history, and we're also looking at what are what is America going to look like in another 200 years.
Mm.
So the whole America 250 concept is not just to look at that commemorative event of 250 years ago, but where America has been, what it's doing now, and what's going to happen in the future. So that's why we want to make it multicultural, multi-generational. Um, it, it's a big concept to grasp. Uh, so we decided that the history fair might be able to cover a lot of ground. We've got
Yeah.
people from Civil War history. I've got a couple ladies coming who want to talk about women's suffrage. We have people with different historic trades that are going to be there. Catoctin Furnace is going to be there talking about the enslaved Americans, and they're also going to talk about what the iron furnace was, what it was meant to do, and how it actually operated. So I think there's a lot of things that maybe might draw attention in different ways to our history.
Yeah, and Joanne, you were saying earlier before we started recording about your involvement in the Daughters of the American Revolution, that your aunt got you involved a few minutes ago, not terribly long ago, but you've been a part of the organization for quite some time. What have you seen over your period of time in the group that, has inspired you, and, the people that have been involved?
The DAR really, while we're all have a shared history, our goal is to be a women's service organization. So we do a lot of work with veterans. We really appreciate commemorative events. We're patriotic but not political. We're really into education and helping teachers or students in any way that we can. So we like to be very involved in the community, and we find different things. We had a Christmas party and did blankets for Project Linus. So that's what keeps me interested, is that next service project, that next way to give back to the Frederick community.
Well, that's fantastic. And again, organizations like yours just help to make this community even richer and better for all of us. Doug, your involvement in the organization, though new, what have you gotten out of it so far?
Well, it's wonderful to have an opportunity to give back to the community, as Joanne said. And our organization, we're having one of our annual dinners this coming Tuesday. We'll be recognizing firefighters. We'll be giving a life-saving award out, an EMT of the Year award, and a firefighter of the Year award. So our organization encourages youth to participate. So we do an essay contest and an oratory contest each year for middle schoolers for one and high school age for the other. So we're recognizing those. We're very involved with the Eagle Scout program, recognizing Eagle Scouts in the area here as they receive that award. And there's about 60 young people a year that are receiving that award. So we're also trying to encourage good citizenship and young people to discover more about the heritage and the history of our country, no matter how long their families have been here.
Yeah. Well, that's really incredible. And we'll be talking more about the event throughout the week on Good Morning Frederick, but mark your calendars for the 28th from noon to 4, Carroll Creek, and you can look out for all the history that is Frederick and beyond on that day. And I will make sure, where can people find out more about the Daughters and Sons of the American Revolution?
We point people to our Facebook page, the Sergeant Lawrence Everhart chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. That's the best material you can find on it. It actually shows what we do.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking the time today. We look forward to experiencing the history come Sunday the 28th. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Well, thank you very much for this, Danny. We certainly appreciate your time today. So.
Absolutely, my pleasure.